If I asked you to look back at a significant point in your life, chances are you'd land on a time when things were going really well for you, when you're enjoying yourself, maybe a point of achievement, or you might land on a time when things were not going well, a point of suffering, maybe even a point where you were caught between, as the expression says, a rock and a hard place, maybe a time of great suffering, or anything in between those two, highs and lows. Chances are you'd find yourself in one of 6 states of existence, 6 states of being, 6 states of mind. And this is according to the Tibetan Wheel of Life. It's a great, profound symbol that shows us the 6 states that humans get into, live in, 6 states that happen in the world, but also shows us how these states come into being. And this is to do with our collective experience and our personal individual experience. So I'll explain this wheel, these 6 states, by sharing an example from my own life, a very ordinary example. So at the weekend I went to a market, I walked along the canal to get there, the sun was shining. So I ended up, checking out some of the food and also, talking to some of the people and the stall holders. And I found myself after like a few minutes thinking, this is lovely. This is really pleasurable. I am enjoying this. This was, you could say, a heavenly state, a kind of godlike state. Not that I was in ecstasy or bliss, it wasn't that kind of enjoyment, but I was enjoying myself. Each of these states, these 6 states, have 2 things. They have a limit to them. They have something that causes some suffering, something that causes discontent, but they also contain an opportunity as well. So what is the limit with this heavenly realm? What is the problem of it? What's the suffering in it? On the surface, it doesn't look like there is any. But I know from my own experience that sometimes you don't want the pleasure to end. You kind of want to carry on enjoying the great holiday, the wonderful thing that you're eating, whatever it is. You don't always look forward to the end of pleasure. Also though, the thing about this kind of heavenly state, this kind of godlike realm where everything's going totally well for you and everything's flowing, beautifully. When you're in that state, it's hard to bring in others' experience. It's hard to bring in particularly experiences of suffering. So that happened at the farmer's market as well. There I was walking along, I'm enjoying the whole scene, and I look down and there's somebody really needing help, asking for money. And I could see the discomfort that was happening around him and how hard it was for people to just engage and connect, with him, because it was like he was right at that point in a state of despair, in the other state, which is what we call a hell state. So you have the heaven state where everything's going well, where wonderful, life is good. And then you have this other state, another one of the 6 realms, whereby things are really tough. In the hell state, the suffering is really obvious. It's a state of despair, distress, trauma. You're not getting your basic needs met. But what's the opportunity? So in the state of hell, what happens is, you're consumed by the suffering and you really want a way out. And if you can receive at that point the right teaching, the right connection, then you have a lot of energy to propel yourself out of that. And it can create a real sense of empathy, compassion, and clarity. If you've been in a state of despair and stress and trauma, when you're out of it, you can really connect with another. So we're moving now, we've done 2 states, we're moving now to a 3rd state. It's quite the opposite really of the kind of hell state realm, where there's this kind of intensity. This state is one of dullness. And this state you could see as a kind of animal realm, the animal state. And I'm not talking about actual animals now, I'm talking about the kind of way of being that really only focuses on your basic needs and your everyday needs. And you're not thinking about anything higher than that. Basically it's food, it's sleep, and maybe sex, yeah? That is the thing that you're interested in. And then beyond that, the mind gets really dull. So then we've done 3 realms now. Let's move to the 4th realm. And the 4th realm we're going to go to is the Titan realm, the kind of ashra realm. Now this is again opposite to the animal realm, because this realm is like you're very focused on what you want. You're very focused on achievement. You're very focused on the future. You're looking ahead and trying to strategize and say, this is what I want and I'll do anything to get it. So that's a kind of Titan realm, and you see it in the world of politics, you see it in the world of the economy, you see it in the world of sports, celebrity realm, but we also have it every day in our lives, you know, where you're just competing, you're envious of what other people have, and you're trying to think, how can I get that? What's the suffering here? Well, I know from my own example, because, you know, we all exist in these states. These states happen to all of us. And from my own experience, if I'm in this, nothing satisfies. I'm kind of looking for the next thing all the time. I achieve one thing and it's then quickly, what's next? Yeah. You can't enjoy the moment. You can't just be with your experience and connect with others. So that's the suffering. What do you think the opportunity is? When you're in these states, the mind is very clear. You have a lot of drive, you have a lot of energy. Focus that energy not on just getting the next thing, but on freedom. Then something quite powerful emerges, something quite transformative happens. So let's move now to the hungry ghost realm. And it doesn't mean physical hunger, it means this sense of emptiness where nothing satisfies. And unlike the Ashra Titan realm, in that realm, it might not satisfy you, but you've got the next thing. You achieve one thing and you're going after the next thing. In the hungry ghost realm, you're in a state of, you know, desire and need, but whatever you take in leaves you cold, does not fill that gap. And so you keep on trying to feed yourself, and yet it's not satisfying. Again, we all have this experience, they call it, you know, doom scrolling, yeah, for example, on social media. You're looking for something to satisfy and you keep scrolling and scrolling, and you might get a momentary, you know, hit, but then it doesn't satisfy you, so you move on. And then by the end of it, you think, I've just wasted an hour, 2 hours, however long it is, and you feel worse. It's a state of addiction. Addiction is this state as well where, you know that the thing that you're going after isn't going to help, and yet you can't stop. Here, too, there's an opportunity in this state. There is this great state of inner emptiness. And again, if you can find the source of this inner emptiness, if you can get the teaching that really touches that, then what can come from that, again, is this deep sense of connection with others, but also how to really nourish us. What is it that really nourishes our spirits? What is it that really nourishes our very being? That opens up a whole new way of looking at life. And then the last state is a state of human beings, the human state. Now, again, of course, we're all humans, but we go through these 6 states of existence. We go through these 6 states of being, 6 states of mind. So what then is the human state? Again, I saw that when I was out shopping. At one point, I was interacting with one of the stall holders, and they were telling me how they made soap. And they were telling me all the different ingredients they use and their journey and their discovery and the knowledge they had acquired. And I could see the way she was talking is that she was passionate about what she did. And it was that passion and that creativity that she brought to it. And we had a lovely sort of exchange around it. That is a very human thing, to create, to choose what you want to do and to bring the conditions into being and then benefit another. We have joy in the human state. We have pain in the human state. The distinction there is we have both poles of experience. We can go from one to the other, but we can choose. And we can choose, we can reflect on our experience and then choose a way of being. This is a great opportunity of the human realm, because what you're doing, you're looking back, you're standing back from your experience, you're looking at the whole of your experience, and you're able to find meaning. You're able to go, look at all these different states of being. Look at the ways I operate in life. Look at the ways that I'm, repeating my experience again and again. And when you step back and you see the repetition, when you look back and you see the pattern in your experience, then a point comes where you can choose a different way of being, a more expansive way of being, a way of being that actually liberates, frees, and enables you to connect deeply with another. The wheel of life is one of the most fascinating symbols I think there is. It's an ancient symbol. So people have been meditating on this image for hundreds, not thousands of years. And what it does, it shows us ourselves because at any one time we're in one of these 6 states. And not only us, everybody else is. Across the world in different regions, you might see these states playing out. But what it also shows us is the suffering in them, the limits, but really crucially, the opportunities. So no matter what your experience is, there's something you can do about it. There's some way of responding that can help free ourselves from the limitation. And it shows us exactly how to do that, because it really breaks down the sort of way the mind works as well in this wheel. For me, this wheel of life I've looked at again and again and again. I keep coming back to it because I'm always discovering aspects of my own experience of what's going on in the world through this wheel. And I'm really understanding over time how to work with it so that every moment that I am in, there's this opportunity for freedom. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed journeying around the wheel with me. I hope you identified where you can be, but also, yeah, just think about where the opportunities are. What do you see as the opportunities in each of those realms? And subscribe to our channel because, of course, you know, you'll see more videos like this. Come along to the London Buddhist Centre, join us online, but come along, see the whole community that we are here. We have a vibrant, living Buddhist community where everyone's trying to practice and journey and discovering what it is to really be alive and discovering, you know, the freedom in each moment.